Amado never truly wanted to bring his daughter back to life. And yeah, out of all the titles I have in mind, I feel like this one is the most catchy to represent this whole video. I'm Nim without the E. Help me get 100 likes or 1K hype points. And once again, thank you so much, guys. So yeah, speaking of Amado or Akebi, I admit this isn't the first time they've been brought up, and there are already tons of theories about them out there. But in this case, honestly, I don't know if you guys have heard about this one yet or not, because ever since the Chapter 36 leaks dropped, I stumbled upon a really interesting clue or mystery. Yeah, it is what it is. And of course, the biggest question mark so far has always been, what if we've been misunderstanding Amado's goal all this time? What if the whole story about a father who just wants to revive his daughter is nothing but a mask? What if the real reason Amado created Kawaki, Ada, Daemon, Kashinkoji, and even used Konoha is just a small part of a master plan he mapped out years or even decades ago? And the most terrifying part, what if Akebi wasn't just an ordinary girl who died of a rare disease, but the first human born with Shibai Otsutsuki's genetics? Yeah, those are some of the mysteries that remain unsolved so far. But hold on, let me finish this through to the end. Today, we're going to break down a theory that might sound crazy, but actually has enough plot holes to become one of the biggest plot twists ever written by Ikemoto and Kishimoto. All this time, we only know Amado as a genius scientist who lost his daughter to a rare disease. He then teamed up with Kara, created various god-tier cyborgs, and defected to Konoha just to get help to revive Akebi using Kawaki's karma. On the surface, this motivation seems simple. In fact, way too simple for a character as brilliant as Amado, right? The problem is, almost everything Amado does always shows that he knows something no one else does. And that's just a fact. Time and time again, he's been one step ahead of Ishiki, Koji, Code, Kawaki, and even Shikamaru. But what shocked us the most is what happened with Koji in Chapter 36. I mean, it's as if the entire conflict is just a chessboard, and Amado is the player moving all the pieces from the shadows, and I'm sure you guys agree with me on this point. And yeah, this is where the theory kicks off. What if the story about Shibai Otsutsuki's remains that Amado found is actually a total lie? We only know that information because Amado said so himself. There's no proof anyone else has ever seen that corpse. No witnesses, no confirmation other than Amado's words. So another simple question pops up. What if that corpse never existed? What if the reason Amado claimed to find Shibai's remains was just to hide the real origin of the Shibai cells he used in all his experiments? But what do you guys think the answer is? For me, one of the easiest answers points right back to Akebi herself. What if Akebi wasn't a normal human? Not that she's a reincarnation or a vessel of a god, but a human who was naturally born carrying Shibai Otsutsuki's genetics. We know that Shibai shed his physical body after continuously evolving through chakra fruits to reach a higher dimension. But the manga never really explained in detail what actually happened after that, right? Literally, he just ascended to a higher dimension. It's highly possible that Shibai's biological energy, chakra, or genetic factors didn't just vanish. That energy could have merged with nature and by chance got passed down to a newborn baby. And that baby was Akebi. And believe it or not, if that's true, then the whole story about Akebi's rare disease takes on a whole new meaning. That disease wasn't a virus, it wasn't cancer, and it wasn't a normal medical condition. Akebi's human body was slowly breaking down because it couldn't handle the pressure of the divine energy constantly growing inside her. Her organs failed because normal human genetics couldn't support god-level power. As a scientist, Amado probably realized his daughter wasn't actually sick. She was evolving, but with fatal consequences. This is the exact moment Amado made the riskiest decision of his life. Instead of letting Akebi truly die, he deliberately kept his daughter's body in a state of suspended animation using his own technology. Not to revive her right then and there, but to buy time. He needed decades of research to find a way to resurrect Akebi without her body being destroyed again by the sleeping Shibai power inside her. And I know the manga did explain that Amado created a clone, but we also have to remember that even if it's explained in the manga now, it doesn't rule out the possibility that the next chapters will reveal the actual truth. At least, that's the pattern we've come to understand so far, right? And another thing, if the Shibai cells didn't come from a corpse Amado found, then where did all the DNA used to create Ida, Daemon, and the other Kara cyborgs come from? The answer is actually very simple. All that DNA came from samples of Akebi's own body. Amado never needed Shibai's corpse because the source of those genetics had been in his own lab the entire time. By utilizing Akebi's DNA, he successfully created humans with Shinjutsu, but they were all just prototypes. They weren't the end goal. They were just experiments to understand how Shibai's genetics work in a human body. That's why Ada has absolute charm, Daemon has absolute reflection, while other cyborgs gained abilities that even surpass ordinary ninja. All these experiments weren't made to serve Kara. Maybe they weren't even meant to help Ishiki. The entire experiment was just research data leading up to one massive project named Akebi. But there's still one unresolved issue. Akebi's body could be preserved, sure, but how do you awaken the divine energy inside her? This is where Kawaki's karma becomes the most critical piece of the puzzle. All this time, we thought karma was just a tool to revive Akebi, when in reality, its true function might be way more specific. Karma isn't a vessel for Akebi's resurrection. It's a chakra battery providing a massive amount of pure energy, so Akebi's body can finish the evolution process that's been put on hold. In other words, Kawaki isn't Akebi's savior. Kawaki is just a power source that's been nurtured from the very beginning. This also explains why Amado keeps protecting Kawaki, repaired his karma, manipulated his emotions over and over again, and so on. Now yeah, we already know for a fact that Amado doesn't want Kawaki to die because he's an incredibly valuable asset, but at least this gives us another pretty solid reason, doesn't it? Because the harsh truth is, Kawaki might just be the most important piece of whatever machine or plan Amado has been building all this time. And let's be honest, we all know Amado has never had a problem playing dirty to get what he wants. And behind all of that, here comes the biggest plot twist of this theory. What if Amado's goal isn't just to save Akebi? What if he actually wants to end the entire history of Chakra on Earth? From Amado's perspective, Chakra isn't a blessing. Chakra is a curse that ruined his life. Because of Chakra, his daughter suffered. Because of Chakra, the world is in constant warfare. Because of Chakra, the Otsutsuki keep coming to harvest life on various planets. As a scientist, Amado might view Chakra as an evolutionary parasite that makes humans depend on godlike powers and forget about scientific progress. So the whole Akebi project has a much bigger goal. Once Akebi's body is successfully revived with Shibai's power, Amado might have planted a self-destruct mechanism inside his daughter's genetics, a secret biological code that only he knows. When Shibai's power reaches its peak, that mechanism will activate and wipe out the source of Otsutsuki power from its very roots. It's not just about killing one god, but breaking the cycle of karma, the divine tree, and the Otsutsuki evolution that has turned Earth into a chakra harvesting field for thousands of years. Ironically, this means Amado isn't just a villain or a hero. He's a father who's willing to sacrifice the whole world to save his child, while simultaneously destroying the system that he believes took his beloved daughter's life. All the lies, manipulation, betrayal, and even the deaths that happen throughout the Boruto story are just the price he's willing to pay to achieve a world free from the Otsutsuki threat. And as a final conclusion, the core of this theory isn't really about whether Akebi is Shibai's vessel or not. It's also not about whether Amado actually lied about Shibai's corpse. The point is one thing that has felt off from the very start. Amado's motivation is just way too simple for such a complex character. For a scientist capable of creating Ida, Daemon, Delta, Kashin Koji, modifying karma, and outsmarting Ishiki, Code, Kawaki, and even Konoha multiple times, it's just hard to believe his ultimate goal is merely bringing his daughter back to life. In fact, the further the Boruto story goes, the more it shows that Amado always has a backup plan, always knows something others don't, and almost never truly loses control. So far, the manga hasn't given a definitive answer, but one thing that's crystal clear to me is that Amado is still hiding the biggest secret in the entire story. And until Akebi's true identity is finally revealed, I don't think we can trust a single story that comes out of Amado's mouth, right? Personally, what do you guys think? Is Amado really just a father who wants to bring his daughter back? Or has he been manipulating Ishiki, Kara, Konoha, and even Kawaki from the start to execute a plan? And one more question, the most important one. If this theory is right, who do you think Akebi really is? An ordinary human, the heir to Shibai's genetics, or maybe something else entirely that we haven't even imagined yet? Drop all your thoughts and theories in the comments section. I'm really curious to read your perspectives because there might be some clues we've been missing all this time. If you guys enjoy theory breakdowns like this, don't forget to help the video out by leaving a like. Our target for this video is 100 likes or 1,000 hype points. A little support from you guys really helps this channel keep growing. I'm Nim without the E. Thanks a lot for watching and see you guys in the chapter 36 review of 2 Blue Vortex. Bye bye, Dadabayo.